Every war is inherently detrimental and damaging, yet certain clashes have left a lasting mark in historical records as the most brutal armed confrontations. These most lethal battles in history have led to the loss of tens of millions of lives collectively, predominantly affecting innocent civilians and laborers who found themselves inadvertently involved in the hostilities. 10. Siege of Candia. The Siege of Candia, spanning from 1645 to 1669, stands as one of history's lengthiest and deadliest conflicts. Part of the Cretan War between the Ottomans and Venetians, it centered on the strategically vital city of Candia in Crete. The Ottomans besieged the city, cutting off supplies and deploying advanced tactics. Despite Venetian appeals for aid being turned down, the siege persisted for around 21 years. The toll was immense, with roughly 137,000 casualties, including about 70,000 Ottoman soldiers who perished attempting to breach the city's walls. 9. Battle of Tenochtitlan. On August 13, 1521, Hernan Cortes and local allies entered Tenochtitlan, commencing the decline of the Aztec Empire. The 93-day siege of Tenochtitlan saw the Spanish and allies assaulting Aztec defenders. Despite their numerical disadvantage, the Europeans' advanced weaponry and a smallpox outbreak led to Aztec exhaustion and defeat. The battle's aftermath included the city's plunder and the deaths of around 200,000 to 220,000 individuals, predominantly native Aztecs. 8. Third Battle of Nanking. The Third Battle of Nanking, during the Taiping Rebellion, March-July 1864, saw a significant clash. Led by Hong Xiuquan, the rebels were confined within Nanjing. The battle involved around 1 million fighters, marking a major historical engagement. The rebels faced defeat due to tunneling efforts and starvation. Bombardment from European-supplied artillery weakened the city's defenses. After the city's fall in July, over 200,000 perished in the ensuing massacre. Despite the leader's capture and execution, many rebels opted to fight to the death rather than surrender. 7. Battle of Okinawa. On April 1, 1945, over 1,600 warships and 350,000 personnel from the US and UK navies launched the largest World War II amphibious assault on Okinawa, Japan. The goal was to secure the island and overcome the last barrier to mainland Japan. Initial minimal resistance escalated into fierce Japanese defense, utilizing kamikaze attacks and rockets. The battle involved land, sea, and air forces amid challenging weather and terrain. While the Allies emerged victorious, the toll was immense, over 250,000 lives lost, including around 90,000 Japanese soldiers and 150,000 civilians. 6. Easter Offensive. The Easter Offensive, March-October 1972, was a significant Vietnam War offensive, led by Le Duan and assisted by Vo Nguyen Giap. Aimed at breaching the demilitarized zone, North Vietnamese forces targeted South Vietnamese, ARVN, troops. PAVN troops, supported by tanks, crossed the DMZ and attacked ARVN, while additional units advanced from Laos and Cambodia. Despite ARVN's strong defense aided by US air power, they couldn't retain key positions, leading to withdrawal. The offensive caused substantial casualties, with around 300,000 military deaths estimated on both sides. 5. Battle of Verdun. Verdun, France, witnessed a massive and brutal battle during World War I from February to December 1916. Chosen by the Germans for its strategic significance and historical importance, the battle evolved into a grueling stalemate. The conflict began with German artillery attacks on French defenses, but the French rebounded with counterattacks. With heavy casualties, the battle ended in a French victory due to Allied support and parallel offensives. The toll was severe, over 300,000 soldiers killed and about 400,000 wounded on both sides. 4. Battle of Wuhan. The Battle of Wuhan took place during the Second Sino-Japanese War from June to October 1938. Wuhan, China's Hubei province capital, held strategic importance due to its industrial and military role. Japanese aerial attacks and ground invasion targeted it. The Chinese, with roughly 1 million soldiers and significant assets, eventually succumbed to the Japanese. Despite initial Chinese successes, the Japanese encircled Wuhan, leading to a Chinese withdrawal. The battle cost the Chinese around 400,000 lives while the Japanese suffered approximately 140,000 casualties. 3. Battle of Passchendaele. The Third Battle of Ypres, or Battle of Passchendaele, was a significant World War I conflict starting in July 1917 in Ypres, Belgium. Notable for its brutal conditions and high casualties, it led to an Allied victory at a great cost. The battle featured relentless rain and shellfire. By mid-November, the Germans were routed. The toll was heavy, with about 275,000 British and 220,000 German casualties. 2. Battle of Kursk. The Battle of Kursk, starting on July 5, 1943, was the largest tank battle ever fought. Nazi Germany aimed to attack the Soviet Kursk salient, but the Soviets, forewarned, withdrew to defensive positions. German forces, over 900,000 strong, met fierce resistance from Soviet anti-tank defenses and minefields. Soviets counterattacked, regaining control of Oral and Kharkov. Initial casualties were heavy, around 200,000 Soviet and 50,000 German in 10 days. The Soviet victory halted the German East offensive and paved the way for Soviet advances in 1944–45, with about 800,000 Soviet casualties compared to 200,000 German. Siege of Leningrad. The Siege of Leningrad, September 1941 to January 1944, left a staggering trail of destruction. Amid the German invasion of the Soviet Union, German and Finnish forces besieged the city, encircling it. Leningrad's population of 3 million, including soldiers, fortified the city. The blockade and bombardment led to around 650,000 deaths in 1942 alone due to hunger, disease, and shelling. Despite scarcity, arms factories operated, and desperate measures like eating pets and cannibalism emerged. Soviet offensives broke the siege in January 1944, costing over 1 million civilian and 500,000 military lives.